Hi scholars, I'm going to go over Unit 1 assessment and Unit 2 assessment, and you should have this in front of you. Your teacher is going to give you extra credit if you complete this and go over it in the video. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to do this in sections. I want you to just do 3 and 4 and then press play and go over it. And if you get it correct, put a check mark. And if you get it wrong, put an X. And don't worry, you won't get points off if you get it wrong. It helps your teacher understand if you know that concept or not. So please be honest and, put an X if you get it wrong and go ahead and write in the correct answer. So we're going to skip 1 and 2. I want you to just do 3 and 4. It says write the decimal shown by the model. The flat represents 1 unit. So I'm going to tell you right now the answer is not 64. I want the decimal. Okay? So press pause, answer questions 3 and 4, and press play when you're ready to check. Okay, so let's go over the first one. So these are your tenths blocks. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tenths. So this spot right here after the decimal is the tenths place. And then the spot right after it is the hundredths place, and that's what these represent. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 hundredths. So my answer is decimal 64. So the way you read it is 64 hundredths. All right, and then number 4, this represents 1 whole. And so that is my ones place. These are my ones blocks. This is a tenths block. So then I have 1 of them. That's my tenths place. And then in the hundredths place, I have 2 of them. So 1 ones block, 1 tenths block, 2 hundredths block. Okay? Now I want you to do 5 and 6. Press pause, answer the 2 questions, press play when you're ready to check. Okay, so let's look at this one. 45 hundredths. So you can use your pencil or a crayon or a matte pencil. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. And then 84. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84. So clearly, this one is more than this one, so then it'll go like that. If you don't have pictures, you can also write them right above each other and then just start from this place value. Obviously, there's more tenths than hundredths, more tenths in this one than in this one, so 84 hundredths is more. All right, let's look at this one. $50, $60, $70, $71, $72, $73, $74, $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $71, $72, $70, $71, $72, $73, $74. So they're both equal. Okay, next ones that I want you to do, you can turn the page. I want you to do number 14. I'm going to go ahead and read the question aloud as well. Pam paid for her lunch with the amount of money shown below. How much money did Pam spend on lunch, written as a decimal and as a fraction in terms of money? So press pause, answer the question, and press play when you're ready to check. It might help if you show some evidence, like write some numbers out underneath it to help you get to the correct answer. Okay, so let's check. This is $2. This is 3/4. 3/4 is 75 cents. And these are 2 pennies, so that's 2 cents. So a strategy I would use is line them up. So $2.77. So looking at this, it can't be this one, can't be that one, can't be that one. It's got to be this one because that matches. And if you read it as a decimal like the official way, it's 2 and 77 hundredths. So if you read that fraction, 2 and 77 hundredths matches up with the way I read that decimal. So it has to be D. Okay, now I want you to do number 17. Pike National Forest, located in California, has a total area of this many acres. Remember that annotation strategy we talked about, circling the number in the unit. What is the area rounded to the nearest 1,000? So press pause, answer the question, press play when you're ready to check. Okay, so what I'm going to do is write it out over here. I don't like trying to do rounding when it's kind of jumbled up in the word problem. So looking at this, first thing I've got to make sure is I round to the correct place value. So I need to go and number or label each place value. So that's the ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. So that's kind of how I do that. And so this is my thousands place. So you always underline that place value and you circle next door. Now, the way I've taught my scholars, strategy that I've taught them is cover up everything except those 2 digits. Now when you look at 14, it's so much easier to round. And 14 is closer to 10 than 20. So what I do is I'm going to change that to 10. Everything to the right becomes a 0. Everything to the left stays the same. So there's my answer. And there is the answer choice that I'm going to bubble in. Okay, now go to the next page, page 179. I want you to answer number 18. I'm going to go ahead and read it aloud. Carson shaded a model to represent the parts of the books he read this weekend. Which decimal written in standard and expanded form represents the parts of the books he read? Press pause, answer the question, press play when you're ready to check. Please show some kind of evidence. You wouldn't want to just quickly pick an answer and be too confident and then you end up getting it wrong because you were rushing. So go ahead and solve. All right, now let's discuss the answer. So this is 10 tenths, which is like 10 dimes, and 10 dimes make $1. So I'm going to label that. And then this is 1, 2, 3, 4 tenths. The reason why it's 4 tenths is because there are 10 pieces. Don't write this because that's 4 hundredths, and we don't have 100 pieces here, we have 10. So make sure you label that correctly. So this would be 1 plus decimal 4, and the total, so if you remember, line up your decimals and you're allowed to put your little invisible magic zeros right there. And so that's my final answer, and then that's my expanded form. But if you notice, my final answer doesn't look like any of these. My expanded form doesn't look like any of these. So, like I said, because this is kind of added like tenths, then this doesn't have to be there. So C matches with this, okay? And then expanded form, you can write $1 like this, or people write it like this. And so 1.00 is exactly like 1 whole. And so you can kind of think of it like 1 plus 0.4. And so that matches this part in answer C as well. So that's my evidence to show C is my answer. Okay, now I want you to do number 20. The total attendance for all baseball games for 2011 was that many. So that has to be people. Which number below is greater than this number? So press pause and then press play when you're ready to check. Please show some kind of evidence to justify your answer. Don't just pick an answer without like really looking at it. Okay, so here's what I'm doing. I'm going to write this to the side, and then I'm going to write all of these numbers underneath it. And I'm looking for the one that's more than this. So answer choice B, answer choice C, answer choice D. Okay, so we want more than this. And if you remember, you have to start from the highest place value. Remember ABC order? You always look at A, and then, you know, B, and then like if they're the same letter, then you go to the next letter in that word. So you do the same thing here. So these are all the same, so this isn't going to work. But then this one, this is less than this, so this can't be the answer. These are all the same as this, so move on over. These are all the same as this, so move over one more. All the same. Now over here, this is less than this, and we want a number greater than that, so that can't be it. These both are the same, so we're going to have to keep going. But then this one is less than this. This can't be it either. We want to be greater than this. So this has got to be the answer, so let's keep looking. 8 and 8, 0, 0, 0, and then 1. So this one little digit in the tens place is the reason why C is the correct answer. Okay, now I want you to do number 3, 4, and 5. And your teacher might have given you grid paper to help you solve these. So if you have that, please use it. Press pause and press play when you're ready to check. So on grid paper, let me go get some from my locker. So estimating wise, this is just a good strategy, so like you know your answer makes sense. So this is about $4. This is about $2. So $4 minus $2 is around $2. So my answer should be somewhere around that range, give or take a few cents. So right here, 4.08, 1.74, and we're going to subtract. 8 minus 4 is 4. You can't do 0 minus 7, so you have to borrow from there. So that can become a 10. 10 minus 7 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. So 2.34 is the answer for that one. Okay? Number 4. Estimate. $19-ish plus about $13, because that's kind of high. That's more than 50 cents. So 19 plus about 13, 32-ish should be my answer. So 19.2, 12.68. Make sure you pay attention. This wants you to add. So remember, you can put your invisible magic zeros here. So 0 plus 8 is 0. 2 plus 6 is 8. 9 plus 2 is 11. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So 31.88, which is close to my estimate. Okay, and then last one, number 5. Estimate. And that would be, that's about 21 minus about 17. So around 4 should be my answer. So here we go, 21.4, 16.97. Remember to line them up. You're allowed to put that invisible magic 0 there. So I can't do 0 minus 7, so I've got to borrow. So that can become 10, and that will become 3. Now, I'm just kind of planning ahead. I can't do 3 minus 9, so I'm going to have to borrow. So that will become 0. Well, can't do 0 minus 6, so in order for this to be minus from that, I'm going to have to borrow. So that can become 10. So 10 minus 7 is 3. This is now 13 because I borrowed. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. 1 minus 1. So 4.43, which is very close to that. So 4.43. Okay, now I want you to do 6 through 11. Press pause and then press play when you're ready to check. Please use your multiplication chart. You have grid paper with you. Go ahead and fill it out and use it. It's so worth it, and you have that opportunity. So press pause, solve it, press play when you're ready to check. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and do it on grid paper. So the first one is 306 times 8. 8 times 4 is 48. 8 times 0 is 0 plus 4 is 4. 8 times 3 is 24. Okay, so 2448. Number 7 is 924 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20, carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. 5 times 9 is 45, plus 1 is 46. So 4,620 is my answer. And now let's do the next one. 8,798 times 6. Okay, so 8 times 6 is 48. 6 times 9 is 54, plus 4 is 58. 6 times 7 is 42, plus that is 47. Carry the 4. 6 times 8 is 48. 49, 50, 51, 52. So 52,788. Okay, and then let's do this one, 59 times 29. I'm over here on number 9. Nine times 9. Why don't you do the turtle method if needed? 9 times 9 is 81. 9 times 5 is 45, plus 8, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53. Okay. Draw a necktie, bow tie, lay the egg. Now it's 2 times 9, which is 18. Carry the 1. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So 1,711. I do recommend that, like, if this just gets too much and too sloppy, you can always do 59 times 2 to the side, take your answer, and just put it over here. But remember to put that 0, otherwise your answer is going to be wrong. So 1,711 is my answer. Let's do the next one. 85 times 46. 6 times 5 is 30. Put the 0 here, carry the 3. 8 times 6 is 48. 49, 50, 51. 510. Bow tie, necktie, lay the egg. If you have to, do this to the side. 5 times 4 is 20. 8 times 4 is 32, 33, 34, 340. So then you would, whoops, I'm going off my grid paper. So then you would do that. 3,910. Okay? And then the last one, 76 times 38. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 7 is 56, plus 4, 57, 58, 59, 60, so 608. Necktie, bow tie, lay the egg. If you have to, solve it here. 22, 2, 2, 8, and then add it. 2,888. So these are the correct answers for those questions. Okay, moving on. Now I want you to do 12, 13, and 14. Use grid paper and use your multiplication chart to help you. So press pause, solve, press play when you're ready to check. All right, so let's figure out number 12. So it's 3 into 987. So I don't have a multiplication chart in front of me, so I'm just going to use this. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. Okay? So I've told my scholars use an index card and cover up everything except the first one. So 3 goes into 9 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. Then you are going to bring down the 8. And this is where scholars get confused. If you bring a number down, you have to redo all the steps. And so a lot of scholars want to bring a number down and call that the remainder. You can't do that unless you have nothing else to bring down. So 3 goes into 8 twice. 3 times 2 is 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. Bring down the 7. It's not over. Don't say remainder 27. You got to keep going. It goes in 9 times. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 minus 27 is 0. So then my answer is 329. Okay, let's do the next one. 8,348 divided by 6. So I'm going to just write my multiplication facts. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, and that's it. You don't even have to go to the 10th multiple. So same procedure. Cover everything up. So 6 into 8 one time. 8 minus 6 is 2. Bring that over. Bring down the 3. 6 into 23. Let's see. Can't say this because that's over. You've got to stay under. So 1, 2, 3. 6 times 3 is 18. 23 minus 18. Remember, you can't do 3 minus 8, so you've got to borrow from the 2. 13 minus 8. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Okay, bring down the 4. 54. That actually goes perfectly in 9 times. 54 minus 54 is 0. You have one more number to bring down. That's 8. So divided by 6. 6 into 8 is once. 1 times 6 is 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. Remainder 2. Now this one you're liable to make a few mistakes, so the best thing is always to check. So take your answer 1391 and multiply it by this. And if you notice, they actually don't match up, but that's when you add your remainder to your answer. And now it matches up. So my answer is 1,391, remainder 2. And the last one, 4,897 divided by 8. I'm going to list my multiples of 8. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72. So this one's tricky because 8 can't go into 4. So you just put a tiny little x, and then you do 8 into 48. Now a lot of scholars think, oh, it's 8 into 8. No, you've got to still include that 4, so 48. So if you notice, it does work perfectly on the 6th multiple. So you put the 6 here. 8 times 6 is 48. 48 minus 48 is 0. Bring down the 9. 8 into 9 only goes in once. 1 times 8 is 8. 9 minus 8 is 1. Bring down the 7. Now it's 8 into 17. The second multiple of 8 will work. So I'm going to put that over here. 8 times 2 is 16. 17 minus 16 is 1, so that is my remainder. 612, remainder 1. Okay, now turn the page. I want you to do number 15. Press pause and press play when you are ready to check. Okay, let's continue. We're going to look at number 15. During September and October of 2003, the Grand Canyon National Park recorded a total of this many visitors. If there were this many visitors in October, how many people visited the park in September? So what you see here is you have a total of September and October, and just October. So in order to find September, you need to subtract. So I'm going to put my larger number on top. And then subtract. 6 minus 6 is 0. I can't do 2 minus 9, so I've got to make that 12 and borrow from the 4. 12 minus 9 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. I can't do 2 minus 9, so I'm going to make that a 12 and borrow from the 9. 12 minus 9 is 3. 8 minus 5 is 3. 7 minus 3 is 4. And there's my answer. Okay? Mary has 2 bags of apples. One bag weighs this many pounds, and the other bag weighs this many pounds. If she gave her sister that many pounds of apples, how many pounds of apples would she have? So it sounds like this is the total of the 2 bags of apples, and then this much is given away. So it's a 2-step problem. First, I've got to add these 2 together, then I've got to take away this. So I like using grid paper sometimes for these type of questions. So I'm going to write 4.56 plus 3.85. So 8.41 is the total. Then I've got to take away 1.25. I can't do 1 minus 5, so I'm going to make that 11. 4 can become 3. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. 3, 2, 1, 8, 7. 7.16 is my answer. And that is an answer choice right there. All right, number 17. At Reptile World, there are 7 times as many alligators as crocodiles. If there are 117 crocodiles in the west enclosure and 183 crocodiles in the east enclosure, how many alligators are there? So let's go back and see. At Reptile World, there are 7 times as many alligators as crocodiles. So if there's 117 crocodiles, I have 7 times as many as that to equal the alligators. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 7, 8. So I have 819. Okay, so there's 819 alligators in the west enclosure, and there's 183 crocodiles in the east enclosure, but remember there's 7 times as many. So 7 times 3 is 21. 8 times 7 is 56, plus 2 is 58. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 1,281 plus the 819 so 2,100. I'm going to go back and explain how I got all this. So they're telling you however many crocodiles there are, it's 7 times as many, and that equals the alligators. So if I have 117 crocodiles in the west side, that's times 7, that's going to tell me how many alligators. If I have 183 crocodiles on the east side, that's times 7, that's how many alligators there. So then I have to add those 2 together to get that. So that's my answer. All right, gardeners at the seed stop are planting vegetable seeds in trays. In each tray there are 12 rows and 8 sections in each row. If they plant 1 seed in each section, how many plants will there be in 53 trays if all of the seeds germinate? Okay, so this is two-step problem. It's multiply and then multiply again. So I use unit cancellation to help me get organized. So if I have 12 rows and 8 sections in each row, I cross out what matches, and that leaves me with sections. 12 times 8 is 96. I have 96 sections. And they are saying if you plant one seed in each section, how many plants will there be in 53 trays if all of the seeds germinate? This right here is considered one tray. So this, so you're going to multiply by 53 to get that. So 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times 9 is 27, plus 1 is 28. 6 times 5 is 30. 9 times 5 is 45, 46, 47, 48. So 5,088 is my answer. Okay, let's look at this. The correct answer to a homework problem is 2,000. Which equation could have been the homework problem? So this is the counting zeros question. So what I would do is I would just solve all of these and see which one equals 2,000. So 5 times 4, cover up all the zeros. 5 times 4 is 20. And then there's 3 zeros in that question. Well, that doesn't match up with that. So cover up those zeros. 5 times 4 is 20. There are 3 zeros in this question, so I'm adding my 3 zeros. That still doesn't match up. 5 times 4 is 20. These 2 zeros, that seems to match up. 5 times 4 is 20, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. That's too much as well. So C is my answer. Number 20. Jill sold 35 adult tickets for a fundraiser. An adult ticket costs $18. How much did Jill collect for the tickets? So I'm going to use grid paper for this one. 35 adult tickets. Remember, the canceling is what helps you solve. And then it's $18 a ticket. So when you solve, you cancel ticket, and then your answer will be in dollars. Because the question says how much did she collect for the tickets. That's a money answer. So 8 times 5 is 40, carry the 4. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 4 is 28. 1 times 5 is 5, 1 times 3 is 3. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now you're adding 3, 4, 5, 6. $630 is what's collected. A baby animal at the zoo eats about 30 pounds of food each day. If each baby animal eats the same amount each day, how many pounds of food do 12 baby animals eat in 5 days? So we want to first look at what we're supposed to do. 30 pounds each day. That's one baby animal. If each baby animal eats the same amount each day, how many pounds of food do 12 baby animals eat in 5 days? So if that's one animal, I want to know how many pounds of food do 12 baby animals eat. So I want to do times 12. So 12 times 3 is 36, and add the 0. So that's 36 pounds a day for the 12 baby animals. Twelve animals will eat 360 pounds a day. Now, 5 days. So cancel the days and solve. I know it's hard to see, but that says 1800, and that's where I get my answer. It's really important to write your units in order to solve. Number 22, a tour of the island includes 106 tourists and 8 guides. Each tour van can hold only 7 people. What is the least number of vans needed so that all of the tourists and guides can go? So we are looking at tourists and guides. So that means both of these numbers are important because it's mentioned in the question. So first step is add the tourists and the guides. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 114 people are going. Each tour van can hold only 7 people. So 114 people. And we have 7 people per van. So we want to know how many vans are needed. Well, these cancel, so we're solving for number of vans. And then this will be number of people left over. So when you solve, 7 into 11 is 1. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Bring down the 4, so 16. 7 times 6 is 42. So I have 16 vans with 2 people left over. But they still need to be in a van. So instead of 16 vans, I am now getting another van. So I need 17 vans for everybody. So this is an interpreting the remainder question. Almost done. Hang in there. Maria has 39 photos. She wants to put the same number of photos on each of 7 pages. Which of the following describes an array that would help Maria know how many photos can be on each page? So this sounds like a division problem because it's saying she has 39 photos and she is putting the same amount of photos on 7 pages. And they want to know what the array would look like. So if you remember in my arrays video, the division problem represents an array. So 7 goes into 39 5 times. 7 times 5 is 35. 39 minus 35 is 4. 7, you won't go into 4 because there's nothing else to bring down. So my answer will be 5 photos per page, and then 4 photos left over. So my array will be a 7 by 5 and 4 left over. So an array of 5 rows and 7 squares with 4 leftover squares. That's what matches up. So D. Number 24, Mr. Bigham has 8 months to save $456 to buy a bike. He wants to save an equal amount each month. How much must he save each month to have enough to buy the bike? So 456 divided by 8. So 456, I'm just going to write the word dollars like this, and then 8 months. So if you read the question, how much must he save, that's your money, each month. So your question needs to match up with your division problem. So over here there's nothing to cancel, so my answer will be blank dollars each month. And that matches up with what the question wants, so I know I'm solving this correctly. 8 can't go into 4, so I'm going to do 8 into 45. That will be 5 times. 8 times 5 is 40. Bring down the 6. 8 into 56 is 7 times 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56. 56 minus 56 is 0. So $57 each month. And that is an answer choice. There are 156 math students in the 4th grade. There are 6 math classes of equal size. How many math students are in each class? So 156 math students. You don't need to write in the 4th grade. If it says per 4th grade or each 4th grade or every 4th grade, then that's a different story. But a lot of scholars want to include this when they write out their division problem. It's not necessary. 156 math students. 6 math classes that are equal size. How many math students in each class? So let's make our division problem match with what the question wants. So here's your 156 students. I'm not even going to write math students, and there are 6 classes. So nothing cancels. So when I solve, it's going to be students per class. And the question says how many math students in each class. So this matches up with what's written in the question. So now I can solve. So 6 times 2 is 12. 6 into 36 is 6. So 36 minus 36 is 0. My answer is 26 students per class. Allison's Bakery will donate $1,200 worth of baked goods to a school event. Oh, sorry, this is not part of the assignment. I marked it out on your extra credit.